Welcome back in. We are still here for round 4, but we are getting ready for our second game of our second best of 3 Wildcard Red. That was a dominating performance in game 1. Already on the board with 1 game. And really, we look at this. We look at how the draft went, how much focus had been on the bot lane. Well, just in the Champions League, you can see that from the games itself.
And they still have a few games to go through, but you're absolutely right, Magical. There was not a lot that could be done on the side of 100 Thieves in general. We saw that nice first blood picked up by Luger right there, but that's kind of where things really ended in terms of success. There were a couple more kills that 100 Thieves were able to pick up as the game went on, but once it hit a certain point, I mean, it was just almost insult to injury the way that Wildcard Red was playing with their food.
I mean, especially the end of the game. That's where it really started to become apparent. But before then, there were just these moments that really are why the game ended up being so one-sided there at the end. It's like right here. How long Winston goes back and forth between double digits.
Possibly single right there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a sliver, and the only reason he ended up going down there is because Chad had broken off to the backside of the fight. But once it was a stride, it was hit. We've talked about it before that when a team really hits that stride, it's hard to shut them down. But of all the teams, longest winning streak right here for Wildcard Red, as we talked about before, 11 series. I like the little zoom in on that missed flash. Appreciate that, observers. But it's going to be a tough game number 2 here going through 400 Thieves. You know, they picked the blue side again, but something does need to change. They tried their best with the composition that they had, but they had to play reactively the entire game to the positioning of Wildcard.
And the thing for me is looking at this, I mean, you look at the game, you look at how the draft was, like Chad on Lee Sin, you could see why they put so much priority onto that champion, but unfortunately they were so far behind. And that's because you go into a composition like Wildcard Reds that is all meant to scale up and get themselves into a late game position, but they get that late game at 15 minutes as opposed to the normal 25-30 that you'd expect.
Even less than 15 minutes. I mean, they were taking down towers, you know, the 14 minute. They were taking them down at 10. I think they got 2 towers with like full plates. And then on top of that, I mean, it was just so oppressive that there were no opportunities for really moving on objectives that 100 Thieves didn't already take advantage of. The few opportunities they had, they made work in their favor. But this game was all wild card all day.
It was. It pretty much, from that dive that happened bot lane, even though they got first blood for Luger, the dive that came through afterwards got so much gold into Arrow, into Bradley. Bradley started off with a triple kill right off the bat on a rise. And then he gets a Magi's to full stacks. It's one of those games that you're just like, GG, go next. You look at it, you go, it's unfortunate that happens, but you push it to the side. You're going to game 2 with a new strategy, new mindset, and think, what went wrong in that last game? Where did we really fall apart? And how do we make sure that we don't get anywhere near that?
Yep, you gotta somehow adapt to what Wildcard Red brought forward. Now, the only problem is with a team, I mean, with as much prowess and everything as Wildcard Red, what do you focus on? There were a lot of things that Wildcard Red had as an advantage, and there were a lot of, you know, I wouldn't say there were a lot of mistakes made by 100 Thieves so much as it really was just a commanding game by Wildcard. So the question is there, what do you adjust your focus to? Where can you find chinks in the armor for this Wildcard Red team? Do we see any real, I don't know, susceptibilities? And it felt like there weren't any given for Wildcard. So just rethink it, try to go in with a whole new strategy, and you have a little bit of a buffer space at least for this since it is towards the end of the bracket. I believe this is the best of 5, correct?
No, best of 3. Best of 3 still.
Sure.
Best of 5. Yeah, best of 5s are next time.
Okay, it's next
best
time.
Of 5s are coming up soon. Don't worry, we're almost there.
Prod threw me off. Yeah, I swear I heard best of 5 like as we were getting into this. I was like, oh man, okay.
Don't worry, we got only best of 3s today. It's going to be tomorrow best of 3s, and then after that best of 5. We're getting close to that moment. Don't you worry on that one, but into this one. I mean, if I have to say anything for this game, looking into game 2, maybe not focus so much on the bot lane. Arrow's gonna find a champion he's comfortable on.
Yeah.
There's not like everyone's been putting so much focus on taking his champions away from him and saying, all right, we can get Arrow into a bad position. Well, truth of the matter is you're not. We've seen that he's played so many different things. He's got the Draven, he's got the Jinx that he's played during this tournament alone because so much focus has been put into that bot lane. And I want to see, maybe in this one, I said this before, maybe leave open the strong picks. Maybe just try to see if you can trade, shake hands, be like, all right, you get a strong pick, we get a strong pick. See, and Luger, he got first blood on Kai'Sa. That's a great start for them, but if they had not really gotten caught out after that on that dive when they were so low, maybe they could have actually made use of it.
It was a lot of focus from Wildcard Red on just, completely stomping out that bottom lane. Not allowing any sort of spark to reignite a flame that might once have been there. And so to move forward here, I think, my little bit of advice was I'm not a fan of the Lee Sin first pick. I know that it's huge for Chad, but there are so many opportunities that Winston has that will not allow Chad to stay alive. So I think maybe focusing a little bit more on the survivability aspect, the initiation as well, coming from 100 Thieves Academy, might find them some successful fights early on that they could use to roll into the later game. But the Wildcard Red bans are going to start out the exact same way. It's going to be Tristana, Varus. The last one was Thresh, I believe. And then on the other side, it is it's the exact same bans. Aurelia, Twisted Fate, and Aphelios.
Salty run back. Come on, where's that Lee Sin for Chad? That's what they're really saying right here, but no, they might add, they do. Grab Rise away from Bradley, and that is a great pick for Ryoma too. He is an incredibly successful player on that champion, so seeing him get his hands onto this control mage is a nice change of pace. And
something that I definitely like, I said I didn't want to see the jungle, and I think that's really, really good for 100 Thieves Academy if they can maybe even get some sort of counter, and clearly Wildcard Red is not prioritizing that. They're picking some of the most counterable champions in the game so far. They're hovering over that Azir right now. It's because of the Rise matchup.
Yeah.
Because if you can pop off on Azir, you can shut down Rise incredibly hard. But that's kind of the struggle, is finding a player who's willing to put in the time and invest the time to learn how to really, really get good at that Azir. Bradley, definitely one of those. Definitely one of those. Yeah, come on, do it. Lock it in. Yeah, Luger.
And now we get the
You're my man,
duo
Luger.
in the
Yes.
I know you're happy about this one. And honestly, I like this. Both teams, instead of trying to see if they can wait it out and get all the way into the depths of their champion pool for the ADCs, have gotten them immediately.
And this is exactly what I wanted from them. I need some cohesion, some sort of cohesion. This has to be a hover. There's absolutely no way Wildcard. Okay, all right. I mean, they usually do the hovers. It could potentially have been the Blitzcrank. They're going to lock in the Leona instead. Is great to prevent Rakan from getting through, to prevent Rakan from getting the quickness onto the back line, using that Grand Entrance to really reinforce the fight going in their favor. But I love Xayah. Xayah's my main. I absolutely love Xayah. I have been singing her praises forever because it's how you play her. It's positioning, it's skill, really very, very much skill based, because you have to use the blade caller correctly. You have to position yourself correctly so that you are, forcing the positioning out of the enemy lane. That's really, she's so oppressive when it comes to that, because you have to avoid standing in front of those feathers for the blade caller. So I love to see it. A lot more power, more cohesion, and more of what's looking like a win condition potentially if we get some frontline initiation. That's now what I need from 100 Thieves Academy. If not one of the next picks, both of the next picks.
But here, this is what is interesting with this change in this draft. We've got mid lane and bot lane for both sides locked in, but the jungle has been left open. The Viego, something we saw Will do amazing things with in the last series, gone. The Xin Zhao that Winston was able to pilot amazingly last game, gone. Ornn actually taken away by Wildcard Red this time, and I wouldn't be surprised, just looking at 100 Thieves Academy, if that's going to be I would go with a jungle ban.
Yes, that's probably the way to go. That's going to be the strong point right now. You know what? Top sides, both Brandini and Gamsu can run whatever, whether, it's a kill lane, whether it's a tank lane, whether it's a bruiser lane, it really doesn't matter. So definitely trying to ban out some of the strong picks, and they don't want that Lee Sin in here either. That's not going to be a pick that they want to make because, again, you're looking for a little bit of frontline initiation. There's going to be a hover, and I can tell Wildcard right now, they are having a blast. Like, they are over there laughing. They're like, what do we play? What do we run? What can we get away with? Because that's the kind of team they are.
Yes, but the thing is, you still want to give respect over to 100 Thieves
Yep.
Academy, because this is a team that can punish you if you don't give them full respect from the get-go. Where last game, they were able to play with their food at the end, they had to respect them beforehand. You saw there was always those moments that had Winston not been able to hold on to dear life, and that made it so that they had to then focus Chad's attention onto
Yep.
Winston and die himself. Maybe things would have gone different. But here, with the Trundle pickup, with the Graves on the other side, we're saying that both teams are fully capable of lasting out to that mid game, lasting out to the late game. I mean, I'm already liking the ability to just neutral control out of both Kalista and Azir on the side of Wildcard with the Trundle frontline.
That's where I'm scared. Again, frontline. Frontline is the big thing. This is what I said I needed. I needed two things, frontline and initiation. And hey, Wildcard Red locked in two frontline, or are looking to lock in two frontline initiators. Graves is great, but if you can't survive, it's just very similar to Lee Sin. You have to get in. You have to be close. And Wildcard Red's not a team that you usually want to be close to unless you're getting the finishing blows, but that's not how Graves works. Graves needs to get a lot of pop-off damage. I mean, right off the bat. I like the Gnar, but it's a not like, you know, Gnar's okay as a blind pick because he's pretty counterable to a lot of major picks towards the top side, but you have to get the rage. You have to, he has to get to Mega Gnar. So still, the front line on the side of the 100 Thieves Academy is really, really, really limited, along with that initiation, and that's what really worries me and makes me feel like Wildcard got exactly everything they wanted.
They did, but the thing I will give over to 100 Thieves Academy is I like once they are a unit, once they all group together as a team, they have some pretty nutty wombo combo. You get the Rakan engage, Gnar ult into the wall, explosive damage coming in from both Xayah and Azir the entire time spreading through him, then collateral damage out of Graves. Boom, everyone dies.
Yeah, but here's my other side of it. They all have to be close. All of these members, Xayah, relatively low range. Chad on Graves, very low range. Ryoma for Rise, very low range. Same thing, obviously, Punagate, all of them, aside from Gamsu's Boomerang. And if Gamsu's going to be going in, it's going to be as Mega Gnar, who doesn't really have range, aside from, you've got the Rock Toss, and you have the Leap. But it's just, it's really scary to see that amount, and also that amount of crowd control. They've got the range, too. Having Bradley on this Azir is huge. Huge for Wildcard Red. He's going to be able to sit back, poke down so much damage. Kalista's going to be able to throw in whoever she wants. She's got a nice range. It could be Brandini, it could be Winston. It's obviously going to be Dabshin because you have to kill somebody and you can't change it. But it's just like the ideas behind it. There's a lot more of an open end on Wildcard Red's composition, in my opinion.
Yeah, but we'll find out how it's all going to go after a short break. We'll be right back. Game 2 coming right at you. welcome back. It is game 2. This is round 4 for 100 Thieves Academy Wildcard Gaming Red. One team to move on in the upper bracket, the other to fall to the lower bracket and have to fight for their lives in the best of 5s. And Wildcard Red are one game away from securing that spot against Team Liquid Academy.
Will say so myself, based on their composition, kind of forcing 100 Thieves into a corner. I love the first 3 picks on 100 Thieves, and I think if they can focus on getting Luger and Poom somewhere solid, they might be able to find something on this. But Wildcard is a team that goes in for all the blood. 25 kills in the last game in 25 minutes. That's a kill a minute for those of you who don't know 25 equals 25.
Getting the quick maths.
Oh, yeah,
Getting all
that's me.
that out.
Quick maths, yep.
Because right now, Poom, this is very interesting from him. He is hanging around, looking for Bradley, who is not coming out. He is giving us a little chicken dance, a little taunt there, mid lane. I love it.
Do you like that? That's also a fantastic skin. Beautiful skin. Poom's gonna go in the W start.
Oh, he doesn't even flash us yet. Ignite is ticking onto Bradley. He's holding on that entire time. One more flash. Finally, to barely survive. Bradley, how you doing?
I don't actually, that flash, it was definitely panic. I don't know if it was necessary. I think Ryoma wasn't able to
no, the auto would have killed him. The auto, I think,
okay, I didn't
for
see
sure
I didn't think
him.
he was close enough on the auto. I thought he had backed away at that point. But either way, flash out. Poom, Bradley knew Poom was there.
He did. It was very nice play there from Poom, but disrespect out of Bradley to have to force out a flash, force out a TP, and now he is so susceptible to any gank from Chad, from Poom, from Gamsu if he even wants to be able to show up into this mid lane to bully this Azir who needs items to really become a threat.
It also means the Ignite is down, though, for the bottom side, so that might be a little bit of
That's a
priority.
low cooldown, though.
It is quite a low cooldown, actually. It's like a third of the way down already, but if Wildcard decides to make an early move, I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen crazier things. You've already got a lot of pressure coming from Brandini in the top side of the pings now, recognizing, all right, I think that was pathing right there being shown for Chad, who's going to move forward pretty early to try to get a jump onto this coming grab. Damage down here, that is played by Daphne.
Engage onto Daphne. He even gets rooted by the Blade Caller there, but Poom took a lot of damage there too. Both supports pretty low, forced to use a lot of those pots just to be able to survive, as well as getting the Relic Shield procs just to get a little bit more health. But I kind of want to focus here on Winston, on Chad, because the thing you talked about is Graves does need a little bit of time to really come online, and Winston on Trundle is going to be able to control all of this early game for quite some time.
It's kind of one of those, seriously, Winston can show his face to Chad. We just saw it right there. Chad, is just hoping that Winston walks away because it's a come at me. Like, Winston absolutely wants Chad to go in. And, at this point with Trundle, too, you try to build some armor up against them. Probably part of the reason they ended up going with this trade. It does mean that they don't really have a front line, but it also means that they're not going to be building a lot of armor that's going to be, just ripped through, negated, and buffing, helping Winston.
I think one thing that might have gotten overlooked right there is that Winston, he gets a lot of control topside, sees Chad's there. Well, Arrow and Daption move up and get themselves the Scuttle Crab. Chad has been put so far behind at this point. It might not look it from the CS at this moment, but losing double Scuttles to the side of Wildcard. Sure, it was Arrow who got it and not Winston, but you still are denied that as Graves, taking longer to scale up into this game and get that damage. He's got Dark Harvest. He is really committing for the late game here.
And not just, the experience that you get, the gold that you get from those pickups, but having the vision. Having vision in top and bottom side, not needing to place a ward of your own. It saves some gold. So not only do you gain gold from it, but you end up saving yourself some. Even though it's a temporary, it's not the longest set of vision right there, but being able to cover both of these objectives means that 100 is so limited in what they can do and where they can go.
That's Ryoma getting a good shove into Bradley, getting a lot of damage on him too. Nice rotation of spells, and unfortunately taking a little bit from the Sand Soldiers on his way out of there as well. But Bradley is still without Flash. He's still flashless for quite some time that if Chad wants to be able to show up, if he can get poked out low enough, that Dark Harvest, that's a good opportunity to get a sack early on, to get a kill if you can out of Chad or out of Ryoma to put Bradley behind and not let him scale up like you did last time. But Ryoma, you got to play a far more cautious game. You can't just always run up like that, especially when you don't have full control. You might be hanging around towards the top side, but Chad's on the other side.
And Ryoma didn't go back and get damage. Ryoma went back to get the tier. So was called the teleport. Was uses the engage. Oh my gosh!
Nicely done. The flash in from Ryoma. Chad, though, he is cut off by that pillar. He does not have the dash anymore, so he has to give up his own life so his mid laner can have that early kill.
A little bit of a trade. 1 for 1. Nothing too crazy. Let's take another look at that, though. The positioning of Daption and Winston back here. But yeah, Chad gets the first jump in, but that forward positioning a little too confident, trying to push this lane out, not expecting a response from Wildcard. You always have to respect the
Though I'll give an argument here, Jolly, that actually is completely worth it for Chad. He flashed forward, gets an early Dark Harvest stack that I'll talk about. He needs to be able to get these stacks early on. He get the kill for Ryoma early, and now this play topside. Gamsu's got a lot of damage on to Brandini, flash for flash, just to make sure they can get rid of Brandini in this top lane.
I just think he could have survived. Is that
baby?
That's where I was at. Where instead of staying on that bottom side, that river, where the expectation of the jungler to come through, since both junglers kind of have the same rotation, we're on that lower half of the map. Standing by that push so close, not shooting just a little bit farther back. I'd rather they know where he is.
Arrow uses cleanse
Oh
with the damage
my
from
God.
Chad. Second stack of the Dark Harvest. Make it 3 if they can get Daption. He's still alive. They took up a lot of damage from that turret. They got a plate as well. Daption kiting it back, waiting it out. He wants Chad to be the one to engage, but Poom's going to be the one with the grand entrance and kill for Luger.
Kill for Luger. Poom does go down there. Daption, I thought you were out, and you did too, because he actually took a stutter step back. Not you, I'm saying Poom.
I did. I thought
you did. Yeah, you did too.
Anyways. But here's Gamsu. Oh, that was interesting. Got pinned between the wall and the pillar. But yeah, going back.
Wall and a rock and a hard player.
I'll say for Daption getting the kill. It's a nice thing, but it's one of those consolation prizes, right? Poom dies, but Daption gets the kill. If Arrow gets the kill, then it means so much more. And now you've got a kill onto Luger. You got a kill onto Chad. Ryoma getting away from 3 members in mid lane, kiting it back for so long. He can't flash. There's the flash finally with the Emperor's Divide. Even an ultimatum, that's 2 ults used. He's still alive with the knockup coming in, and he finally dies. Poom all the way back to Chad. A lot of damage coming in. Collateral damage, not able to take down Winston. The Subjugate barely healing him back up.
So close from Elise taking 1 member down. In response, we're going to take a look at the earlier fight here on the bottom side. So Poom missed the grand entrance there, but it really didn't matter because Chad was on it. A beautiful blade collar as well. And this is kind of playing with your food, saying, all right, who wants to go in? Who wants to start the initiation? And it is going to be Poon. He ends up going down here, though. That was the tail end of that circle, of that aggression circle from that tower. And I just got to point out one more time, let's take a look at the vision on board. So aggressive already. Wildcard wanting to go in deep. We've seen them dive behind towers, and that's the strategy they're going to continue to do. It seems like bottom lane is where their priorities at.
I love Luger, by the way. Do you see how he positioned? He's the one to go forward. Chad's here as well. 4 stacks, looking ahead for his 5th Dark Harvest stack on his Daption. Barely alive, but he burns down to die.
Beautifully done by Honor Thieves, and you're absolutely right. Luger on this side. This is why I love this champion. It's all about positioning. You will not find success with Xayah if you do not recognize where your feathers are, and you try to, you can force positioning on the enemy team. There's Charm.
Thickness, the Charm with the damage. Winston taken down. Arrow looking to be able to get the Ren, but unfortunately it's too early, and it's a double kill for Chad.
Beautifully played.
Wait! Ryoma double killed Bradley
No
too!
way! Oh my god, we gotta get another look at that. It's gonna be a shutdown by Daption. I think it was
What's
the
going
Ignite.
on?
I think the Ignite just picked up a kill on to Chad right there. Daption has 2 kills. Daption has 2 kills right now.
What's going on in this game, Jolly? This game is bananas at the moment. We have 8 kills for 100 Thieves, 4 for Wildcard, 12 in total. Let's take a look at this replay because it was a long one.
Yeah, this is the break off. You have the quickness right there. You can see it was activated so that Poon could get into the fight. And so well done here. Also the recognition from Chad. I've got double buffs, all right? I have a little bit more survivability. There was the split off. This is where it happened. It was a Hex Splash, Q, Ignite. There you go. At least get one.
And
oh my
as
gosh!
we get back, we have more fighting.
No way!
Fight. Kill for Gamsu, and Chad being in the top side to help out, get that kill on the Brandini, since we had seen earlier the flash used to get away from everything. We can take a look at that replay. It's well done by Gamsu to dodge away from the initial hook shot.
Oh, but the little pinch here. Chad says, yeah, I'll just get an assist on that one. Get one shot and walk away.
Wait. What's going on bot lane?
Jelly. There are? Oh, yeah, there's some pigs coming out. That's a classic. That's a classic Wildcard play. You know, go around the dragon pit. Try to avoid being seen whatsoever. Any possibility. They're going in, though.
Yeah, they are. They got a lot of damage on Poom, but Battle Dance back to Xayah. Gets a lot of distance away. Winston on the other side will be spotted out by that control ward, so they know the jungler's bot lane, which is why you look at Chad. The moment they saw Winston, he makes the call to try to pressure that top lane, saying, we dare you to focus everything, all your attention with the TP into the bot lane. We'll pop the eye in the top lane to get a lot of gold for ourselves. Boom, Luger, you're on your own. You've got to hold it. 4 versus 2. 4 against the world, except for Brandini, who's all his lonesome by himself in the top lane. Daption not going to be able to get the Zenith Blade, but they got the root with the Blade Caller, and it forced and thwarts away Wildcard.
No way, you're going to get a second charge on top of it on
They might get the turret itself.
They might even get this turret. It looks like they have another wave coming through. They absolutely will get a second turret. Not the first turret of the game, but make it 2 in 1 lane. Wildcard is going to take what they can get. The second dragon for themselves. Pressure is still on the top side, and 100 Thieves are looking so good.
This is what I was saying, though. When I look at this 100 Thieves composition, I look at how they're going to be able to play these team fights, and it's even better when you have a massive gold lead like this. The 6,500 gold lead for 100 Thieves Academy. 2 turrets, a fully plated one at that in the top lane. A lot of plates for Ryoma mid lane. Sure, it's a sacrifice for the second dragon, but that is a lot picked up for 100 Thieves to get them to these team fights that they need to work.
They're getting a lot of pressure now in the mid side. There's still a minute and a half almost available for these plates. There's so much gold 100 Thieves is absorbing here. There's going to be another. Oh, they just barely don't get the second to last plate. The last surviving plate available here.
Look at bot lane. Luger's there the entire time. There's a lot of tension coming in from Bradley. The flash away from Ryoma with the Rune Prison on top of Bradley, and Chad has so much damage. He flashed away, but the pick just on a 2. Members get the charge action. He's trying to get Boom as best he can, but Arrow just cannot get in range. They've got the damage onto Ryoma, but he's trying to get back away. And Chad, he's going to be the focus of the ultimate, and finally sliced down by the Precision Protocol. The flash in from Rain, and he's taken out. A double kill for himself. Gamsu is able to get a nice door into the wall onto Arrow, but Arrow this entire time he is dancing through the battle looking for the Ren on a Boom, but he's still alive. He's still getting out. Luger showed up though for a killing spree of his own. Wildcard, you gotta run for the hills.
That is the power of the Zyricon combo. My goodness, everybody popping off. This is currently 3-0-4 Luger, and yes, still plates are up for another 15 seconds. They're going to find the 4th tower before plates fall for 100 Thieves. The amount of extra gold they have gotten themselves this game is insane. Let's take another look at this fight though, because it was an initiation for Bradley, an excellent flash to avoid that ultimate. The quickness does apply. It does mean that Poon's in a dangerous position, but stays alive towards the backside. It was a really good solar flare as well coming from Daption. But when you're Chad on that side, it was Daption and Arrow versus Chad. Chad managed to win that fight. It took a 3rd member in Brandini coming over to actually take down another member there. And right now, that ultimate from Gnar. I love me those. I love me some good Gnar play in general. But that was an excellent play. And this is why I love Xayah. This is why I love Xayah. Get close enough. And if you can QE fast enough, you get the kill. That's all you need.
And the big thing in that is you can make an argument. I mean, it was so long and drawn out, but technically, it was a 4v5 for a long time.
Yep.
Luger was pathing this entire way because he got that turret, as you had mentioned before. The fully plated bot lane turret, then pathed up top lane, well, top mid lane, to be able to join that fight way late, yet that was perfect. They get more gold, more of a lead. Ryoma gets jumped on by Brandini, but he's got a level lead. He's got the damage. They've taken down Brandini, and Winston, even with the subjugate on to Chad, he's got a lot of distance away. The blast cone to save the life of Chad, and Gamsu's on a killing spree.
Oh my god, look at the gold right now. We are almost at 10K at 15 minutes, Magical. I have never ever seen a gold lead this wide, this early in the game. This is, what are we even watching right now? What did 100 Thieves do? What did 100 Thieves do? What did 100 Thieves do during that break? That, I mean, just completely revamped that.
Jolly, they forgot about game one. They put it in the past. They came into this one as though it's a brand new game. And that's how they're winning this one. It is great to see. It comes down to coaching, the staff behind it at 100 Thieves Academy to really give them that motivation to let them know they got this. And look at how this game is turned around at the moment. It is pretty much it's the reverse of Fates from the previous game where it was Wildcard getting a kill a minute. Now 100 Thieves Academy are nearly at a kill a minute.
So good with this blast cone to get Winston away. Gamsu being in the bush right there saying, yeah, I can help out. I just got that red buff, so that's nice. Chad and Gamsu holding on to those right here. And oh man, you know, it's great to see. I didn't have a lot of confidence that we would be seeing a game 3 just based on the way the wild card was playing, the oppression that they put down in game number 1. We're seeing the exact opposite. And in fact, we're seeing it executed we're seeing executed better. This team is totally fine with also getting to the late game. Yes, Wildcard is really looking for that. They are the late game team composition, but there's quite a bit of late game availability on 100 Thieves as well. So they're like, yeah, we can cut it out now, we can end the game now, or we can keep going. Either way, we just continue this lead. And, oh, I mean, 11,000 gold. And this is wow.
Charlie, it is 6 turrets to 0. Right now.
I know!
Every turret outside of the
2
base.
minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. This is nuts from 100 Thieves Academy, but they got to make sure they're still playing wisely. Nice spot out there from Boom. Understanding probably someone's in the brush, so instead throwing out a Quill, saying, all right, there is someone there, backing off immediately. All the while, Chad is getting the first dragon of 100 Thieves game.
4-0-4 for Luger, 3-0-1 for Gamsu. Chad has been absolutely everywhere, and you know, it did not take long. Once Chad got through that full rotation and decided it was go time in the jungle, that's absolutely what happened. Chad has helped out every single lane, and now at this point, this map belongs to 100 Thieves. You just said it a moment ago. We've been talking about it not just 6 hours, it was at like 15 minutes, but 0 from Wildcard. That makes it nearly impossible. Oh my god.
No escape. That's an Emperor's Divide right into the teammate's arms. Where are you supposed to go, Bradley? The base is the other way. Boom chasing you down. Got the charm through. That damage coming in from the support of all people. Winston arrow right on the heels of Luger and Chad. But Bradley, you don't have an escape anymore. You might have a flash, but Chad's looking to hunt you down all the while. Winston's getting forced away by the rest of the members of 100 Thieves Academy. Gamsu does not have TP this entire time. Brandini is passing towards the team, while Bradley, if you can get this TP away, the damage though is way too high from Chad. And the rest now. Look at the re-engage coming in. Boom. Didn't get the knockup though with the grand entrance. It's going to be a solar flare. The damage in to take down the kill onto Rakan. But an ignite is ticking onto Winston. Daction, he's taking a lot of damage. Forced away with the face call knockup onto Chad. But they got the damage right back from Ryoma. Oh no, this is looking devastating from 100 Thieves Academy. They went way too far and they don't got Gamsu, but they got a double kill for Ryoma on the way out.
Luger does get out alive. Gamsu still has not gone down yet. So yes, they lost a few members there. We'll take another look. It was a beautiful Emperor's Divide right there, but Bradley on the run, you're not going to get away from this. Tried so dang hard, but all it takes is for 100 Thieves to say, all right, one person who wants to go chase down this player. And it's a very easy choice for Chad, having a lot of mobility, able to get the kill on as this fight is still going through. Oh, man, and you can see Winston. It is a very long one. Winston tries to get through, and it was a good attempt by Poom, but really, really good response. Solid lockdown. And Luger with a beautiful blade collar on top of that, dealing enough damage, and then deciding, okay, I need to get out of this fight. This is not one that I'm going to survive. It's possible that oh no, actually it's not possible. I was going to say if Luger had been there, maybe they could have gotten a little bit more, but no, not with Brandini moving up. So very, very well played and good recognition by Luger that I need to get out of it.
And this was just a little bit of hubris on the side of 100 Thieves Academy. They needed to bail out of that one. They had gotten the pick on to Bradley, who wanted to keep the fight going, but honestly, sometimes you just gotta count it as a loss. You chased him for such a long time. You didn't have Gamsu's TP up. There's no way you could have him join in, and you didn't know where Brandini was. But anyway, the thing is, even with all that, it doesn't really matter too much. They still have a 10,000 gold lead, and they're doing exactly what Wildcard had done to them last time, but Winston is on the other side. There's going to be a secure of that Baron for 100 Thieves Academy nonetheless.
Chad, just in case, actually ending up using the ultimate on top of the Realm Warp again, though. They're going to be going on a Bradley.
Emperor's Divide, Winston, Rune Prison, Everfrost, knocked up, killed off by Ryoma. Even though Bradley does survive this time, the jungler dying this entire time is going to be devastating for Wildcard if they want to mount a defense.
Pretty hard now.
Wait, what?
19 to 9 kills, and out comes the Rip
They still
Herald.
have it?
How? I am not sure
I
how
forgot
to
about that.
Baron as should I mean I don't understand. I thought at that point, I thought it should have been expired. It must have been the last moment. Oh my goodness, it's going
That's
to
a
be
lot of
one
damage.
tower down. Going in with
Winston's about to respawn. Fate's call to pull back in Daption. Bradley would take down nearly to half health too, but Daption's going to be the real target. A nice Nord to drag everyone into the fight. Ryoma's got the kill. They've got two for Ryoma. Arrow, he's trying to dodge away, get himself back towards the scene, but without the minions there from the side of 100 Thieves Academy, they're going to back off, take themselves their second inhibitor turret of the game.
possibly the second inhibitor. They've got a few cannon minions. No, they don't. I thought they had a cannon minion back there. They do not have a cannon minion. They've still got Baron buff minions, though, and it's really hard for Wildcard to do anything but clear out the rest of their base, give them what they've got. Dice recalls, all members still holding on to that buff aside from Gamsu, who went down on the top there. So now you can literally see Ryoma's like, what do we do now, guys? This is like, it's our playground. We can do whatever we want.
Jolly. 21 kills for 100 Thieves Academy. They, just like Wildcard before them, are looking to get that kill a minute while Wildcard have 10 themselves. This has been such a bloody game back and forth. 14 sacks on the Dark Harvest out of Chad.
That's nutty. In a Summer's Rift game, that's absolutely nutty, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing exactly that. When Chad goes in, he's able to 3v1 because of the survivability that he's got here. And it looks like he's actually got, is that an elixir in his inventory right there?
It's a corrupting clock attack, I believe. But right now, Winston, what was that damage in from Chad and Ryoma as a combination tool?
No,
they burst down the
elixir.
tank.
That was an elixir. He just activated it.
Oh, did he? Okay, I missed that.
He activated it. That was an elixir. He activated it right after. Oh, there you go.
Nice entrance. Nice damage on to Arrow. He burns down. Daption flashes away towards the gate. Flashed away from Bradley, too. So many summoners fused, but your base is being taken by Poom. Chad still in the fight. Double kill. Brandini, he couldn't mount it. He couldn't get the defense. The kills are there. We're at more than a minute for 100 Thieves Academy. They have returned the tables onto Wildcard Red and are handing them their first defeat here in the Proving Ground.
In only 23.5 minutes, that first game we thought was impressive from Wildcard. Little did we know that 100 Thieves had the same idea up their sleeves, and that means we get 2 full 3-game series, Magical. We are so lucky today.
That we do. It is at 1 apiece at the moment. What a series, what a game from these two teams. The thing that is wild to me is that Wildcard, having gotten a kill a minute in game 1, then 100 Thieves Academy doing the exact same thing to them, that is nuts.
Honestly, the amount of kills in general was insane, but still the thing that I don't know if I will ever get over the fact that they got 4 towers down before plates dropped. That's maddening. That's absolutely maddening. The fact that they had that much pressure across the entire map and were able to maintain it and then pull Shelly out at the end of the game with the Baron buff, it was immaculate. It was absolutely beautiful, and it very clearly caught Wildcard Red off their game.
That it did, and now we get a full series again, back to back. I'm going to toss a break so I can go make some more tea, because I'm going to need it after these games have been bloody. Stick around. We'll be right back.